Today we're going to speed up the process of cleaning motorbikes by making something a bit weird and rather niche. Because the point in having a garage or workshop, in my opinion, is so that you have a place to do all your motorcycle related things in the most efficient way possible. Recently I've been putting off washing my bikes. Not because washing them is hard work, I actually love washing bikes, but because the process around it is a pain in the ass. You see, it requires me to get paddock stands down over here and take them outside, where the bike can be put up on them. I then need a bucket from here with a dash of car shampoo from here, which also has to go outside. Then I need the pressure washer, which requires electricity, the snow foam nozzle and a hose pipe, which currently doesn't have a home and just lies around dribbling water everywhere. I also use a bike cleaner for those dirty areas and a chain cleaner for, well, the part in its name. Don't forget a cloth for the bike, a chain brush, a detailing brush and a wheel brush, aka just a brush for the dishes. And only then can I start to wash the bike. And then once I'm finished, all of this has to be packed away again, by which time it's all wet and yucky and unpleasant. It is, however, 100% my own fault. I've slowly made the task of cleaning a motorcycle more and more complicated. I don't need all this stuff, but instead of simplifying my cleaning process, I think I'm just gonna organize it better. Because I'm pretty sure that if everything I need is in one place and accessible from outside where I clean my bikes, it should be faster and therefore I should do it more frequently. I wasn't sure if my plan was going to work how I imagined, but it all started with a backboard for everything to hang on that fits perfectly on the left-hand side of the garage door, already getting closer to where we need it to be. The pressure washer definitely needs to be involved, and I got the hose pipe its own reel, so it should be neater. I'll also want a shelf for bike cleaners, a hanger for brushes, a rail for cloths to hang on, and a way to store buckets. However, things like paddock stands are too big and can stay where they are. Then the plan is to have this cleaning wall swing out so that it's accessible from outside. Okay, so obviously the dream setup is a full-on wash bay outside, set up and ready to go whenever I want it. But unfortunately, this is my workshop and it's in an industrial estate, so everything outside these walls is shared space where other people are working. So I'm pretty sure that if I left my stuff outside, they would either use it or steal it, and I can't get in their way. So for now, this idea is gonna have to do. After cutting out 2 triangles and drilling a hole in each of them, I mounted one to the top corner of the backboard and sandwiched a wooden dowel between them for cloths to hang on. I then got an idea of how big a shelf for bike cleaners would need to be and cut it down to length. I attached one fence on the end of the shelf and another one in the middle of the shelf, bridging the gap with the leftover wooden dowel so the cleaners can't fall out, while the other half of the shelf will be used to hang brushes on. First, my blunt hole saw snapped its drill bit in half. Then, with a new drill bit, it tried to start a fire. But eventually, it did do its job, and I had a spot to hang my dish brush at least. I then cut out a slot for the chain brush to hang in before making some untidy holes for my personal toothbrush and 2 detailing brushes. I made sure there would be enough space to get bottles in and out of the shelf, and then I could glue and screw the shelf to the backboard. At first, I tried to make a shelf with a hole in to hang buckets on, but that plan didn't last long when my brittle wood simply split in half while I was cutting out the hole. So I resorted to a traditional boring shelf, but at least that marked the end of woodworking. It was, however, looking closer to the strange niche contraption I had envisioned, meaning the million rough edges could be rounded off before it got a layer of stain, so it's sealed from water and hopefully survives the tough life it's got up ahead. Plus, the dark stain should help hide all its imperfections in the dark shadows. The next day, with everything dry, it was time to mount the remaining pieces. The plan was to hang the pressure washer on some hooks, but naturally I hadn't accounted for their size, and the ends were too tall for the pressure washer to slide over. Luckily, neither was a real problem. The ends of the hooks simply got trimmed off, and the pressure washer will just have to hang off the end of the board a bit because of the long hooks. The hose reel was the last and easiest piece, just getting screwed to the board. Well, it was until I remembered the dirt bike's posterior plug. The part I was dreading was mounting it to the wall, because although it would be much closer to the door mounted on the wall, I figured I could get it even closer if it was mounted on hinges so it could swing out. Some wooden blocks were in order to bring it out a few centimeters so it could clear the track of the garage door, but that actually made attaching the hinges easier. It was a two-man job, but luckily a welding box had my back and supported the weight of the board while I attached it to the hinges. And to my surprise, the wall bolts could even hold the weight of it. But could it hold the weight of the stuff we need to hang on it?
It actually seems to work. I really wasn't sure if 2 hinges would be enough or if a third would be needed, but so far, so good. It might need a latch to hold it in place when it's back here, but I actually think that because of the weight it's putting on the hinges, it holds it in place quite nicely wherever you put it. But the real question is, does it do the job it was meant to do?
So it's not as good as a dedicated bike wash bay, but it is a lot better than it previously was. I love having everything right where I need it, so I don't traipse wet footprints throughout my workshop when I forget to grab something. There's still space for future brushes or just a shelf for random stuff, and I can permanently leave the hose attached to the pressure washer. But the best part is that when I'm finished cleaning, I simply push it back into its stowed away position. It looks a lot neater having a home for the hose pipe and pressure washer, and even cleared up some space in my cupboard. And I haven't even used the secret compartment yet. But anyway, this probably has no use in your setup, but let me know what you think of the idea down in the comments, and I'll see you on the next ride.